Hotapu everyone. Today I wish to give you a tutorial on how to time your healing yoga or your healing Tai Chi or Qigong movements. This is very important because the calendars we use in the Golden Beetle are based upon the actual movements of sun, earth, and stars. And in order for you, all of you who may be doing yoga or doing qigong or tai chi or any kind of alternative healing modality, even if you're doing yoga with Ayurveda, there's an Ayurvedic clock that works with that. The key is to learn to synchronize your yoga, your qigong, your tai chi with their calendars. This is a very powerful secret to healing, timing. It's becoming an entire branch in the medical field called chronomedicine, where they're studying very seriously how different medicines take or don't take into the body based upon the time in which you imbibe it. And so here on the screen you see what's called the acupressure meridian clock. And it has colors. And if you look at the outer ring, the colors, it gives you the organs that are active or at a high tide of activity and the hours at which they activate. So let's start here, for example, in the morning. From 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., the lungs activate, the lung meridian, the whole lung system, and the large intestine at 5 to 7. From 7 to 9, your stomach. From 9 to 11, your spleen activates. From 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., your heart flips on. That meridian turns on strongly. From 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., the small intestines. From 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., the bladder. From 5 to 7, the kidneys. From 7 to 9, the heart, the pericardiums, the pericardial sac around the heart. And from 9 to 11, the triple warmer. And from 11 to 1, the gallbladder. And from 1 to 3, the liver. Many of you may notice when you have a certain dis-ease, an ailment or symptom, it tends to change depending upon the time of day it is. Sometimes the symptoms become more severe at night, sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes in the morning. This clock gives you an idea as to what system in you, what underlying system that's manifesting as a surface ailment is giving you a flashing help me, help me, help me signal. So if when you wake up in the morning and you get up between 5 and 7 a.m. and you have a lot of issues, nasal issues or aches or whatever it may be linked to this 5 to 7 a.m. meridian of the large intestine, which belongs to the metal element, becomes more active in the autumn, affects the nose, and its negative vice is grief, loss, depression, sadness. So just by looking at this with common sense, who was called the goddess of wisdom in my system, called Sobeknit, common sense, you can begin to get an idea of what's going on with your body and how to begin to talk to your doctor or talk to your alternative health practitioner to say, I'm having these symptoms at this time and it's consistent and here are its forms. Okay? And this clock here is very good because it gives you the colors of each organ system. The liver gallbladder system is green energy. The lung large intestine is white. Tummy spleen is yellow. Heart, small intestine, and pericardium, triple warmer, all part of the heart system, are red. And the kidney bladder is a black or a blue, a deep, deep blue energy. Okay? So this clock is jam-packed full of information and assistance in diagnosis. Now, what I want to begin to focus on is this next image, which is here. This is what I provide for you when you purchase the yearly calendar, the Golden Beetle yearly calendar, your personalized calendar. And I just happened to set this for New York, no particular reason. And you receive this in your packet, your astrology packet. Today is April 3rd, 2017. And so I picked this week's time frame. So it'll be today is April 3rd. It'll be this set of entries here. Now, note it says here we have planets and times in like a white box and then in a gray box. Gray simply means PM. White means AM hours. Okay? If it's in this darker shaded gray area, it means it's after sunset. Otherwise, these are before sunset. Okay? So that means that sunrise must be at 6:40 on April 3rd, and sunset must be around 7:19 p.m. on April 3rd. Always the first entry in the white box and the first entry in the gray box tells you, respectively, sunrise that day for that location and sunset that day for this location, New York in this case. So you're seeing, if you look, on the first, sunrise is 6:44, on the second, 6:42, third, 6:40, the fourth, 6:39. It's ticking down, 6:37, 6:36. Sunset also ticks up, 7:17, 7:18, 7:19, 7:20, 7:21. Okay, sunrise ticks down after the spring equinox, and sunset times tick upwards. Okay? That's important when you look at this clock, because actually you don't want to go by these times 3 a.m., 5 a.m., 5 a.m., 7 a.m. as if it was a fixed time block. What it really means is I like this particular wheel that I found on Google Images because it's this line here is like the beginning of the day, is like basically saying this is the beginning of the day. But 6 a.m. between 5 and 7 would be 6. 6 a.m. is, we can call it ideal sunrise time. Okay? But we just saw that sunrise time can change, it changes throughout the year the farther you are from the Earth's equator, your city from the Earth's equator. Unless you're on the equator, you're going to have sunrise and sunset changing throughout your year. So, although in this calendar, it's saying 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., it means 5 a.m. actually means 1 hour before your local sunrise. 7 a.m. means 1 hour after your local sunrise. So 6 a.m. would be ideal sunrise. So 5 a.m. would be ideally 1 hour before ideal sunrise, and 7 a.m. would be 1 hour after ideal sunrise. But if you're not living on the equator, the ideal sunrise time, you have to go by this calendar. So instead of today's sunrise being 6 o'clock, it's 6:40. You go back to this calendar here, this wheel, and you change these to 5:40 a.m., 6:40 is sunrise, 7:40 would be an hour after that sunrise. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm changing ideal sunrise to local sunrise, which you can find on your computer or in the newspaper. But you don't have to figure it out with this calendar because it's already calculated for you. So on the 3rd, today of April, sunrise was 6:40, right? So that means that the large intestine turned on in the middle of its cycle at 6:40. 1 hour after sunrise is actually 7:44, not 7:40. It's not exact changes. So 1 hour after sunrise equals this 7 o'clock a.m. Okay, then the 3rd hour after sunrise, 6:40, would be here, the stomach, not really 7 a.m. for New York. The third entry is 8:47. So it's at 8:47, if you're in New York, that you would start activating your stomach qigong movements, your stomach acupuncture sessions, your stomach acupressure activities. Okay? That's why this calendar is so useful. It's very beneficial at helping you heal, know how to time your meditations, time your Chinese herbals, your Qigong movements, all of your healing work to better align with the rising of that energy in your organs and meridians. So I pray this brief tutorial of how to separate universal time from, or we call ideal time, from your local time. Okay? I'll briefly state, for example, here, this is between 5 and 7 p.m. Ideally, 6 p.m. would be sunset, which would be kidney time. But sunset today in New York happens to be not 6 p.m., but 7:19 p.m. Okay? And 1 hour before sunset was 6:15 p.m. Let's go here. So it would be from 6:15 p.m. That began the beginning of the kidneys for April 3rd, 2017. So at what was it again? At 6:15 p.m., the kidneys, all New Yorkers' kidneys flip on today. Tomorrow, all New Yorkers' kidneys will flip on at 6:16. And then on Sabbath Day, Wednesday, at 6:17 for New Yorkers. Okay? So that's how you use this. Do use it. You'll find you heal better, your medicines take better, you get better results. And just a little word of advice. We have, let's say here, the kidneys, start at 5 p.m., 7 p.m. ideally. It means at the beginning of this 2-hour block, the kidneys go on a swelling phase, like a rising wave. The second hour, the wave crests, climaxes, and the last hour, the wave is descending. So there are 3 hours in each of these little slices, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, and it goes 5 is the beginning, 6 is the climax, 7 is the waning. Okay, so if you're trying to what's called tonify your kidney chi, tonify your kidney meridian, it's better to do it during the first hour of that kidney turning on for your location. Okay, if you're trying to what's called sedate that kidney, calm it down, you would tend to want to do the exercise while it's at the 7 p.m. time when it's going downward naturally. Okay? And that's how you use this. You'll see here that this clock shows you emotions that tend to happen to humans in cities at the same time. So for New Yorkers, and those on that latitude of New York City, from 5 to 7 p.m., fear hits them. But depending upon that 5 to 7 p.m. for them, which is going to be 6:15 to 7:19. So for New Yorkers, on April 3rd from 6:15, 7:19, okay, go back here, that's when fear hits their city. Okay? And between their correlate hours, joy comes into the New Yorkers' energy through their heart meridian, anger through their liver. It tells you when societies, towns, villages, communities go through group emotions. It's a fantastic model of how to organize and to harmonize a community, communal health, communal balance. I pray you enjoyed this. Dua Wen Hotepu.